Well, hello, my friends at the Spoken Word Christian Church. Pastor Bob coming back at you here from the comfort of my reclining chair with my knee being iced up and watching like my 45th episode of Star Trek Enterprise. To say I'm growing bored would be the understatement of the century right now. I am so ready to get back and reintegrated back into life again. But I will tell you that healing is happening. We are progressing. I'm making good progress. I was able to walk actually to the end of my cul-de-sac both yesterday and today. Physical therapy has been working real well, and so I'm hoping that in short order I'm back up and running again and serving and ministering to you and with you. And it has been a ride. I'll tell you, this surgery is no joke. and realize now I'm a great big giant baby. So poor Molly has had to deal with me since last week Tuesday, and God bless her. She's such a wonderful woman. You know, I did get a chance to watch service this past weekend, though, and I really appreciated Pastor John talking about the importance of prayer and how when we pray for somebody, there really is no greater act of love than lifting somebody else up before God. And, you know, Molly and I, we actually had an experience this past week where I spiked a fever. We ended up having to run to the emergency room. And while we were there, we went in and the ER doctor saw us, and he immediately began with a very dire message to us, you know, that the joint had become septic, it was infected, and, you know, they were going to have to chop my leg off and do this and do that. And nothing that came out of his mouth was positive. And it was very late at night. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning or something, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning at the emergency room. And we were there, and he left the room, and we had the nurse turn off the lights, and it was just her and I that were sitting in there, and it was kind of quiet, and besides the beeping monitor next to me. And I just said, honey, would you just hold my hand? Let's just pray. And in that moment, we just prayed for one another. We prayed for you guys. We gave thanks to God for all of the wonderful blessings in our lives. And I have to say, you know, I'm very happy. I rejoice in the fact that we have a God that no matter what the situation, he's always there for us to turn to. And, you know, I also love the fact that he heard our prayer, and, you know, the orthopedic doctor came in an hour later, about 4 o'clock in the morning. Molly had gone home, and he comes in and he looked at my knee, and I'm waiting for him to bust out the bone saw to take care of the business that the first doctor said needed to be handled. And he looked at my leg. He says, no, you're great. You look fine. Don't worry about it. Poor Molly. Molly and I were saying our goodbyes an hour earlier. But, you know, the idea of prayer, praying for one another, being an expression of love, and knowing that you guys have been lifting us up in prayer and praying for us, I just want you to know how special that is for me and for Molly. And this has been a very, very challenging ordeal for the both of us. But knowing that you're there, and all of the offers for help, by the way, and to bring us meals. I can't tell you how many people have reached out to both Molly and I and texted us and said, you know, hey, would you like a meal? Do you need anything? And, you know, really, honestly, I'm just sitting around all day. But I do miss you all. I love you. I'm hoping that next week I will be able to re-engage with the Bible studies, the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday morning Bible study, as well as the Wednesday evening, Thursday evening Bible study. I'm hopeful for that. The biggest challenge, the thing that I underestimated the most of this whole ordeal, is not being able to sleep. Like, so for right now, I'm able to talk to you, and I'm fairly clear-minded, and I feel good. But the problem is, when I try to go to sleep, I can't get comfortable. It's not so much that I'm in pain, I just can't get comfortable, and so I don't sleep at all night long. Well, it becomes problematic when you need to be up early to lead these groups and these studies. And then I find myself napping through the day, and because I'm so tired, I'm not really focused enough to be able to study. So, but I'm hoping with as big as a turnaround as I've had over the last 2 days, that next week I can get back into life again. I really, really want to be productive and useful again, and I want to be ministering too, and I want to be with you guys. So, anyways, I just wanted to give you a heads up. I wanted to show you my ugly face. Look, I'm a little bit unshaven. I need a haircut for the 3 or 4 hairs that I have on the top of my head, and But otherwise, I'm doing pretty well. So thank you very much for your prayers. Thank you very much for your expression of love to Molly and I. And please know that that night when we were in the emergency room, one of the things that we were praising God for were all of you. So thank you and have a wonderful weekend. Molly and I will not be there this weekend. My immune system's still low, and so we don't want to come out and risk me catching anything just yet. But I will see you next weekend, barring anything unforeseen taking place. So God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.